Anyway, okay. So, hello everyone. This is Andreas Pop Culture Talk. Today, me and Will are back again for a discussion of the Batman. So, Will, are you excited to talk about the Batman?
Yeah, no, I just saw it
Wednesday,
during the
right?
week. Yeah.
Yeah. You're lucky. I was supposed to see it again today after the podcast, and then I had to
Mhm.
reschedule it with a friend, and now I have to wait another week. Oh, oh my god! Oh my god! When I saw it the first time, it was amazing. Oh my god. Anyway, let's kind of were you excited for this film? I mean, I was excited. I mean, for this film. What?
Yeah, like I'm not as big of a Batman fan as you are.
Oh,
So I was like I
uh,
like Batman,
oh, that's
but
thank you.
I
I yes.
um yeah, but I was like I didn't necessarily want another Batman movie, but everything
Oh,
I heard about this movie, I was like, this seems like a good take on it. So I'm interested.
mm,
Uh
it's
and
yeah, yeah. It's interesting you're
yeah.
saying that. Like a lot of people say that, but in reality, you're gonna like the film anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was a good take on Batman, so I was interested in seeing it. But if it was another like I don't
Like,
I might not have seen the movie if it was the Ben Affleck version.
oh, oh wow. I think you were definitely going to see the Van Halen film because that film now with the leaks and information about that film, I think you kind of like that film because it was going to be like Deathstroke versus like Batman, and then
Yeah, I
it
if the reviews were good, I might have checked it out. But
mm, yeah, yeah, that's true. But I mean, Ben Affleck was going to direct it, and I 100 think Ben Affleck can pull it off, but unfortunately, it just didn't happen for obviously reasons, you know. So,
mhm.
but yeah, so after Ben Affleck stepped down, we got Matt Reeves, uh, you know, taking over this project. And do you seen his other films? Matt
um,
Reeves.
what had he done? What other
He
films?
done He did the first Cloverfield film. He
Okay,
did the remake of Let Me In. And then he did, of course, the last two Planet of the Apes films with Annie Serkis.
okay,
So that's why he's in this film because he's doing
yeah,
this as a favor for Matt
yeah.
Reeves.
Okay. I just watched Cloverfield last October,
Oh,
so that was the only one of those that I'd seen.
oh wow! I I think I seen his three films. Let Me In and the two Apes films.
Mm.
Great films. I think Matt Reeves is a very consistent director, way better than J.J. Abrams, in my opinion. Um, I was very excited for him to take over this project, and right away, he was the right project director because when he started to talk about like he was making a detective film, I was like, yes, finally, a detective story film for Batman. After so many years not doing it, it was just so relieved that he was going to do that as his film. And jumping in, what was your overall thoughts of the film after seeing it Wednesday?
Yeah, I really liked this take on Batman. I liked that
Mm,
he like used his detective skills more. Um, I liked the Riddler and Penguin and Commissioner Gordon,
Catwoman.
Catwoman. Yeah. Um, the movie was way too long.
Oh, really? I didn't have that
Yeah.
problem. I mean,
It was paced very well, but I there was definitely a lot of stuff that could have been cut out or just trimmed. Even
mhm.
just like things that went on too long. Like the one that sticks out in my mind because it was the last example of this is when Batman and Catwoman are
Batwoman.
Or
Oh my god.
like riding away on their motorcycles. Wow, my allergies are making my throat.
Oh my god.
Um, when they're like leaving on their motorcycles,
Yes.
that could have been like 3 shots, and instead it was like 10, and it lasted a whole minute. Like just trim some of that, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man.
like there was a lot of stuff like that where like
Mm.
things could have just been a little cleaner, and then it wouldn't have been 3 hours long.
Yeah. I agree. The ending was very awkward. I just thought just put the bat symbol and then that's it. Like I yeah, the motorcycle thing was too long, and I get, yes, he's gonna miss Catwoman, and
Yeah, but like, you could have had them getting on their motorcycles, them driving next to each other,
mhm.
then them parting ways, and then him looking in the rear view mirror. That's 4 shots, and it would take like maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And
Ugh.
instead,
It was like 20 minutes or like I don't know how
it
long
felt
was
like
that.
forever.
Forever.
There were so many shots of them like driving through an entire forest on their motorcycles together.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, yeah, they were in a cemetery, which is weird. But I mean, it's Batman, so
yeah.
it's supposed to be gothic. So, yeah, I can, yeah, I mean, yeah, the movie is too long, but I guess I wasn't bothered by it because I was so engaged with the characters and the story. Um, yeah, I think the ending should have been something more climactic, like the '89 film. Like, I think you should have done was like, okay, you see the motorcycles separate, and then you maybe do like a scene where it's like going up to see the Gotham City, and then you see the
mhm.
bat symbol like turn on, and then that's how you close out your film. I feel like I wanted that instead of the way we got it here.
Mhm.
But yeah, let me go into my thoughts. I think it's one of the best Batman films.
Mhm.
It's my third favorite after the Lego movie and of course the Dark Knight. Um, let's be honest here, no one is going to beat the Dark Knight in the ranking. I mean, that's impossible.
Mhm.
Um,
I liked it more than The Dark Knight.
what? I mean, yeah,
Okay. No one can beat Heath Ledger as the Joker,
yeah,
but like I don't know. The other parts of The Dark Knight, I've never felt like I don't know. They're not my favorite.
yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah. So like yeah, I think I liked this as like a cohesive piece more than I liked The Dark Knight. But
okay.
like yeah, nothing's gonna touch Heath Ledger's Joker.
No, no. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess we can get into rankings. So this is your number one film, right?
I mean, Lego Batman might be number one, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one is just so good.
yeah.
Focusing on Batman. Um, I like I liked it because they did the Bat Family, and it's
Mhm.
like I really want that in a live action film.
Mhm. Yeah, and I liked that they like leaned into the goofy aspects of Batman for the Lego Batman movie. I
Yes,
think there's two ways to do Batman well. There's
the dark.
really goofy, like you lean into the fact that he names everything after like it's like Bat whatever, like Bat Copter, Batmobile,
You.
and he fights people like Condiment King.
Oh my god, the
Uh,
compliment.
or you do like super dark, super serious detective, like neo noir thing, like this movie did.
Oh
Um,
my god.
and like those are the two ways I like Batman. And anything that tries to like be a little bit of both really falls flat for me.
Yeah, like the Joel Schumacher films.
Mhm.
Which I don't hate the Joel Schumacher films as other people, but I think that's where you go down really badly with a Batman film,
Mm-hmm.
especially Batman Rom. But anyway, but yeah, I totally no. I think you had a very good valid on Batman, and I totally understand what you're saying for the Lego Batman movie being number one. I totally agree with that. It's always I I mean I totally like. I mean, Dark Knight is not my favorite superhero film, but it's one of my favorite Batman films.
Yeah, I mean, it's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, I mean, the Nolan films are like top tier Batman films. Like, I mean, everyone was going to put Batman Begins as number one because it's the most centric Batman film, to date, before this film and whatever animation film you've seen as maybe centric Batman film.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I totally love your list there, Will. I totally respect that, and I think that's good because I mean, it's tough to be a Batman film. It's like you have to have these things to make it as number one or number 3
Mm-hmm.
for me. And I think that's the thing. And the thing I like about this movie is it really deep, like it goes deep to who is Batman and like what he should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that because he realized that he needs to be more than vengeance. And I really like to discuss that in a Batman film finally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I am vengeance, is a line from animated series, but I always was bothered by that line. And then here, I like how psychologically and then in depth we talk about it, and like him realizing that that's not he should be going to the path.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed that. The kid holding Batman's hand like got to me. Just seeing the mayor's kid. Unfortunately, his father got killed by the Riddler in the beginning. It was just such a great touching scene, and then like everyone followed Batman in the water. It was just so good. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film, and I think Robert Pattinson was a great Batman, one
Mm-hmm.
of the best.
Yeah.
I think. What's your opinion on Robert Pattinson as Batman?
He was perfect as Batman.
Yeah,
Like really intimidating, really like the like jawline fit the cowl really well too.
yeah,
Um,
he's looked great. Like,
yeah, he looked exactly like what I would picture Batman being.
yeah,
Because Bruce Wayne was like a little too
emo.
moody for me. Yeah. Um,
um,
like I want that to be like who Bruce Wayne like really is, but I feel like he should, and like maybe this will come in sequel since this is still like a relatively new
yeah,
Batman. He's like 2 years in, right?
yes, this is year 2 Batman.
So I want him to like understand that he needs to keep up the like billionaire appearance.
Yeah. I I think it was kind of cool to see that because it's like we never took time to see Bruce because this is from Earth One Batman, or the Scott Snyder serial year Batman, where he wants to be Batman every time, and so like the Bruce Wayne persona gets kind of like sidelined,
Mhm.
which I love that we did that in this film. And I think it was a very interesting take on Bruce Wayne and Batman, and like this had like so much like a vampire vibe, which I love.
Mhm.
And not because Patterson was in Twilight, folks. But it was very intriguing to see Bruce Wayne being like this like vampire. Like he had to put glasses on to block the sun that was like hitting him, which was a neat touch. And yeah, I wasn't bothered by that. The one thing that did bother me was the Afrin thing. Like
Mm.
I think this is the less screen time for Afrin, like Afrin / Bruce Wayne relationship. Um, I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, it's not like a requirement to focus on it, like how Nolan did it. But I don't know, like I wanted more Andy Serkis in this film because
Yeah, I at least wanted like we don't see him after he like wakes up in the hospital, right?
No, no,
I
that was
wanted
like
like in the end, not that we needed to add more to the 3 hour movie, but if you cut the stuff that needed to be cut, you could have
yeah,
added like a scene where they like were together again,
yeah,
just to give some more closure to that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That was weird. I mean, that last scene was a great touching scene. I did like his line,
yeah,
like,
and it was a really good scene. I did like the chemistry that they had when
yeah,
they did have scenes together.
yeah. I really did that, and I like how he like participate with the detective stuff, and
Hmm.
like him
Yeah.
like coding the ciphers, and
Hmm.
that was very cool, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And speaking of Earth One, him walking with a cane, that was from the Earth One graphic novel that I was
Okay.
mentioning. So, here it was very unclear because in the comics, he did lose like a leg in that version.
Okay.
So I'm kind of curious if we're going to touch upon that, or just saying that he's just have like a house like problem with his leg, and so he's working with a cane, something
Hmm.
like that. So, but yeah, but I mean, the person that got more to do was, I mean, Commissioner Gordon, played by Jeffrey Wright, was amazing.
Hmm.
He was definitely the comedic relief. Um, I'm just, I think Jeffrey Wright was the perfect Commissioner Gordon.
Hmm.
Nothing is going to be Gary Oldman's Commissioner Gordon. That's just the fact for me.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, he really looks the part.
yes, I mean, and I love him in Dark Knight. That's like another reason. Like
Yeah.
just like his role there is just so powerful. Like especially the family getting taken by Two Face, and it's just yeah. So, um, but man, I was so happy to see Commissioner Gordon getting more to do here. I was so happy he was a partner with Batman. Like he was the Watson to Batman, which is
Hmm.
great.
Yeah.
And oh my god, just I mean, just the lines, the funny lines he gets is it gets to me, and it's so funny. Um, uh, like was I'm trying to figure out what line he'd say was kind of funny. Like what was it? Oh, he couldn't punch me harder when Batman had to punch him in the police station,
Hmm.
and like he said, like you couldn't pull your punches harder as you didn't,
Hmm.
that was funny. Or like, they found the cars for the mayor, and he's like, "Oh man, this is what you do as a mayor. I should be going to there as the mayor, getting these cars." That was funny. But what was your favorite funny scene with Gordon? Will.
It was probably that same, like, you could have pulled your punches. I
Oh my
did
god.
exchange. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was funny. So, but yeah, I really appreciate Gordon getting to more of the plot, which is great
Hmm.
because sometimes we forget Gordon is a important character in the Batman universe,
Hmm.
like Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher did, but whatever. So, um, but yeah, so I think Jeffrey Wright was great. I'm very excited to see him more in the sequels. And then the villains, I think all three villains here, Catwoman, the
Hmm.
Riddler, Penguin, were great.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I
Falcone too.
oh yes, and of course the Mafia, say
Hmm.
they're great here as well, and it was great that they didn't ignore the Mafia, because I was kind of worried if, because Dark Knight trilogy did that extensively, but thank God they didn't do that, because the Mafia family is always important in the Batman films, or
Hmm.
universe in general. So, my favorite was the Penguin, and then you say the Riddler was your favorite.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, yeah, I love the Riddler here. I think I it's tough for me to say he's my favorite Riddler version,
Hmm.
because I love Frank Gorshin, and then the Arkham games is great
Hmm.
too. Um, I don't know, like how you rank Paul Dano's like Riddler. Like, is he your personal favorite, or like he's like third or second? Like how you rank him?
I don't know if I have a ranking.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I didn't like his costume really.
Oh, okay.
Like it was all right.
Yeah. I mean,
it
I
didn't stand out.
yeah. It I guess it didn't bother me because they kept the colors, which I was very happy about.
Yeah.
You know. Um.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it worked for the movie.
Yeah.
Um. But I really liked. I don't know. He was just really scary, and like he really wasn't for most of the movie. But then when like you got to the end, and like there were a few moments that like really made me terrified.
Oh
The
man.
first one was when he's FaceTiming Batman and the DA in the scene with the bomb,
Yes. Oh
and the
my
DA
god.
tries to talk, and he like flips from being his like persona to just like shouting at the
Yes.
top of his lungs. That was like, oh man, this guy's unhinged.
Crazy. Yeah, the
Yeah.
range. Oh my god.
And then uh, the part that like scared me the most, I think, was when uh, Batman unlocks that last video where Riddler's addressing his like followers, and he doesn't have the voice modulator. He's just
Yes.
like talking, and he's super like confident, and they're all planning a terrorist attack together. I was like, oh, this feels realistic in a way that's uncomfortable.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
so, oh my god. Like I can't believe they actually did that, and just in a movie that was supposed to be a blockbuster. Yeah, it's so, oh my god. Yeah, that hit
yeah,
home. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The two things that scare me. The second one, it's more like I was so happy we got the Riddlers, like the Riddler clues right. And
Hmm.
when he was giving the DA, of course, played by Peter Skarsgård,
Hmm.
I love how he was challenging him of a game of three riddles, and he got it right.
Hmm.
And that scene was my favorite. And then
Yeah.
before he exploded, like that was my favorite scene with the Riddler.
Hmm.
And then the opening, um, where you didn't know if the like you didn't know that the Riddler was watching the mayor,
Hmm.
and and then of course the mayor was watching something, with the election, and with the new mayor that's campaigning, and
Yeah.
then it was like a horror film. Like he was in the background, like it was like
Yeah.
A24 level. I was like, what? He's there, and then when he attacked him, it was so brutal, and it's like, oh my god, like him smashing his head, and then after the murder, like he starts taping, the head, and then before writing "No More Lies," is
Hmm.
oh my god, that scene really got to me. I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
we're going that far with this Riddler version. I think those two scenes were my favorite, like scary moments of the Riddler.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah. I the costume. I think I'm gonna expect different looks and versions of the Riddler. I mean the Riddler has so much design over the years, like,
Hmm.
and this one it didn't bother me because at least they get the core components. Like, okay, question mark green. That's it.
Hmm.
So at least they did that because
Did he have question marks on the costume?
yes. So it's not like,
Maybe it was too dark.
yeah, the question mark was in like, where is it? It was in like the bottom of the coat.
I was on the jacket.
Yeah, or yeah, in the jacket. Sorry, in the jacket on the left side.
Oh,
So
I see. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So like it was kind of like the like
Yeah, with the
Batman.
crosshairs. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm looking at it now.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So
having the question mark on there helps a little bit.
Yeah, so at least they got it right. I mean, I appreciate he was the Riddler because this is something I don't like from Batman Forever. Like he's more like Mad Hatter than the Riddler,
Mm.
and the clues, like the Riddler clues, were just not engaging like this film was. I
Mhm.
like, I,
Yeah, I really liked the clues in this one.
yeah, it just
I there was a moment I was like really worried that they were gonna be like too easy, like in the first
mm,
one.
yeah, yeah.
And he was like, um, what was like, what does a liar do after he
Oh,
dies
he
or whatever?
dies.
And like, I got it pretty quickly. I was like, he lies still.
I
And
see.
I was like,
Yeah.
if they like play this out for 20 minutes and like no one can get it, I'm in for a long 3 hours. And then like 2 seconds after I got it, Batman was like, he lies still. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
They're gonna like handle it appropriately.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. It's a tricky, just like maneuver of like how you want your clues, the Riddler clues to be
Mhm.
engaging and then not to be too obvious, right?
Right.
And I'm surprised they completely nailed that in this film.
Mhm.
And it's just no. Um, um, I let's get into we're off camera. We were discussing the Wayne family, and
Mhm.
you were asking if they're going to show the murder of the Waynes again.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I don't care. I'm fine. I mean, it's a Batman thing.
Oh,
Um,
I've seen it too many times.
oh, I mean, it's 3 times, but it's like from two
I
years or 3 years. Like Batman v Superman came out in 2016, and then Joker came out in 2019. That's like 2 years. It's like,
that's yeah, that's too soon.
no, how to be too
Yeah, and
soon?
also I don't know, I watched the animated adaptation of The Long Halloween.
Oh,
They showed it in that.
yeah, because I mean, it was in the graphic novel. I have
Okay,
the
you
book.
don't I'm tired of seeing the same shot of the pearl necklace breaking off in slow motion while they get
Yes,
shot in an alley. Like
yes,
I'm
that's true.
tired of it. You just reference that it happens. Like we all know already.
Yeah, um, yeah, or just do a sound fake, like in the cartoon show, the Batman.
Hmm.
The third episode, Bane, like we got a shot of Bruce Wayne, like him being young. He was in like the police station waiting for Afrin to pick him up, and he has the pearls. And the cool thing they did was he was dropping the pearls down like a domino, like a domino effect,
Hmm.
and like it when he drops the one pearl down, it was like a gunshot sound. Like they could do that as well, like creatively, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway. So they didn't do it in this film, which was great. I mean, I think Matt Reeves understand the complaint. Everyone been complaining about that. Um, what do you think about the family, reveal and the corruption? Did you like that? And um, did you think it went forward that the filmmakers think they did? Like they
Yeah,
went forward. Okay.
I liked it.
Okay.
I think we were talking outside of the recording that it reminded me of the Kennedys,
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
them hiding certain family members' illnesses and like mental illnesses.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
so I
shocked
thought
that.
that made
Yeah.
sense. I
Okay.
thought the explanation that Alfred gives for the corruption made sense of like Thomas wanting to protect Martha
Yeah.
from like outside scrutiny and then getting in over his head.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, no, I thought that worked. I do think the one like problem that set up plot wise was like so the entire like all of the corruption was because there was no oversight on the like Wayne Trust that they had set up to like
Yes.
donate money to the city, right?
Yes. Correct.
So Batman learns about that, and instead of being like, "Oh, I'm Bruce Wayne, I can just exert oversight on the trust," he goes, "Oh, better dress up as a bat and punch people until they aren't corrupt anymore." Like, I feel like this is more of a Bruce Wayne problem
Problem.
to solve than a
Yeah.
Batman problem,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they just don't address that at all.
No. I think they did towards the end. I think this
I
is
don't
where
remember anything where Bruce Wayne was like, I'll just take control of this trust.
Okay, so that's true. I think I want to see how the sequel does it. I think Batman makes it was kind of cool to see Batman. I appreciate the filmmakers doing narration for Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wrote journal. Like I really like that. And to get into more the head of Batman as a character. And he there's like a bookend towards the end where you say like, and the city needs hope, and like he realized that the city has scars, and like it's just like him, like he's not alone with the pain and vengeful um experience that he's having. And so like he says that outright. And then I think at that moment, I think he will realize that they need Bruce Wayne. Like they need Bruce Wayne to help the city. So hopefully the sequel will do the thing that I'm hoping is like, okay, we're gonna get the traditional Bruce Wayne persona, because Robert Pattinson's version of Bruce Wayne understands now like he needs to be at the public now. He cannot be always Batman to the chief, the change of Gotham,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just we don't spend time with the Bruce Wayne persona, because it's making a point that Bruce needs to understand that he cannot be Batman every time. Like he also mentioned that in the beginning. He's like, despite I cannot be everywhere, like people has this superstition he's there,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. In the opening where the guy thinks, like in that open door, the bank, he thinks he's there because in the shadows, So I think we're leaning towards to that character. And so he will do something with the trust, or, layer in the sequels, it's just
Mm-hmm.
not now in this movie, because it's just he's discovering this whole thing about his family, And so, yeah, so I disagree, because I think that will happen in the sequels. It's not happening in this film yet,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So and it was kind of cool. They foreshadow Hush. That was cool. Uh right away when they say, was it Elliot, Thomas Elliot, or Elliot Thomas? Oh my god, I can't remember the character's name. Yeah, like it was something like that. Thomas, no, because Thomas Elliot is the main Hush. His father, Elliot something, um, was referenced, and then they put the word Hush. I was like, oh my god, they referencing Hush. That was cool to set up a potential villain, for the sequel. But yeah, let's get into the other characters, like the Penguin. Let's talk about Penguin. He was my favorite.
You're so good.
Oh my god, Colin Farrell is amazing. He was a great actor. I love him in every movie. And I do you know he was the Penguin when you saw the first teaser?
Yeah, I had heard about the casting, so I knew.
Okay.
But oh man, that prosthetics job is incredible.
I know, and he looks like the Penguin. That's
Yeah,
like,
he really does.
oh my god, it's so freaky, and like, he's so funny in this film. I love him. Like when he meets Batman the first time, which is great. It's straight from the comics, and
Mhm.
I'm so happy they have the iceberg launch in this film.
Mhm.
Finally, in a Batman film. Then he's like, "Take it easy, sweetheart," and then he makes like a joke about the mayor's death, and all that, and he say it was too soon. I think he say, right.
Hmm.
That was so funny. That was the part where like, oh yeah, he's gonna be great as Penguin. Um, yeah. I love he walks wobbly like a penguin. Like,
Yeah.
do you notice that?
Hmm.
I was so like, oh my god, they're committed to this. This is great. And then I love the part where he corrects Commissioner Gordon, or I'm sorry, Lieutenant Gordon, and Batman on, was it the Spanish word? Did
Hmm.
did they got confused? And I love the Penguin got it right. That was my favorite moment. And then him tie up was so funny. Yeah, so Penguin was amazing. I'm so excited for his HBO show, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then it got me kind of past like not seeing his umbrella, like trick umbrellas he usually has in the comics.
Hmm.
I mean, he had one umbrella in the funeral, which was funny. But anyway, but yeah, so Penguin was great. I love him. And then we get to Catwoman. I think um, Zoe Kravitz was really great too.
Hmm.
She's definitely the most comic accurate version of Catwoman. Finally, after we got a little bit with Anne Hathaway in Dark Knight Rises, but
Hmm.
she was comic accurate because of the long Halloween and all that. I think she was great in this film, and one of my favorite Batman and Catwoman on-screen performance after Michelle Pfeiffer and Keaton, as always. So, what do you think about Catwoman here?
Yeah, I thought she was really good. Um, she her like relationship with Falcone was really interesting.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I felt her like romance with Batman felt a little forced
Oh,
personally.
really?
Yeah, at least like I felt like it happened too soon
Hmm. Okay.
because like her girlfriend just gotten murdered.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Um,
Although I like that Batman, like the classic thing, he like just doesn't pay attention to her, like as a human
yeah, no,
person.
it definitely felt like
Yeah.
I felt like his reaction made sense, but her kissing him didn't make sense unless she
Yeah.
was like using him, but
Mm,
then they didn't really like
yeah. Um.
explicitly say that that was happening at any point. So I
No.
was just kind of like, I don't
It's,
know, it felt kind of rushed. But
yeah. I mean, they're young. I mean, I get.
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah. It's
her
kind of
girlfriend
weird.
was just murdered.
I mean, I don't. I think she's very emotional. So she's seeing this bizarre man dressing like a bat, and so
Okay, I don't know.
maybe I mean, she's a cat burglar, so I don't know. I mean, it's a weird relationship, honestly,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so much weirder than Michelle Pfeiffer and Keaton's Batman Returns. Anyway,
Mm.
um, yeah, that could have been like. There's a lot of plotting, and you mentioned that now, and I was like, ugh. But I think she's just very like she's being very emotional in this whole film, in a good way.
Mhm.
And so she just I mean, well, also Batman was dropping in. Let me say that. So he was dropping in her business. So that was his fault. And so yeah. Anyway, that's intriguing. I didn't feel it was forced. I mean, it was natural, and you know, it was just Catwoman
Yeah,
versus
I think
Batman. You
I
know.
think I would have bought it if it like came a little later in the movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Man, when when did they first kiss? I'm trying. I'm like
Pretty
I know.
sure it was like around the time they found the body.
Okay. Yeah, it was maybe up the back. Yeah, they kissed in the bat symbol, right? Because she was calling
Yeah,
him, and yeah. Yeah. Man, it's been 2 weeks. I'm trying to remember where that happened. The kissing part with Batman and Catwoman. Oh, so, but yes, that was totally hilarious. Then what else? Oh, uh, you mentioned Falcone. What do you think about John Turturro's performance? I think it was really great. I think he
Yeah.
was the best Falcone we gotten so far. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good.
Mm,
Yeah, perfect, like kind of like slimy mob guy. Yeah.
yes. Love his
Um,
glasses. That's
yeah,
weird.
that
Yeah.
was good. Good
Yeah.
like character design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. By the way, production design is amazing in this film.
Yes. And just like the cinematography. This is the most like
Yes.
beautiful superhero movie I I think I've seen.
Yeah. In a
Like,
while, yes. Oh my God. I mean, I love the red lights.
mhm,
Like when he does the flare and towards the end, like that was a really great shot.
mhm,
And then like the rain just really helps the film to feel moody and like just gives Gotham that dirty and like gothic look
mhm.
that you always associate with the city, which is great. I hope the cinema photographer
Mhm.
Gray Fisher gets to win the Dune award because I think he's been great. Like I love Rogue One. I think that look is really great,
Mhm.
and this film especially, I think he should win in the Oscars for the cinematography. I think he has done a really great job of just giving films a way better like just look and not feel generic like blue screen.
Mhm.
But yeah, and I appreciate everything feels like it's real. I love the Batmobile. Let's probably my third or second favorite. I love the Batsuit. Let's get into that. Like, did you like the Batsuit?
Yeah, I
Um,
did.
okay.
Yeah.
I love the Batsuit being every comic book inspiration. So, but yeah, what else that was good? The score. Let's talk about that. I think the score was great. It was very memorable compared to other superhero scores. This is by Michael Giacchino, right?
Yeah, same
Um,
guy that did Spider-Man
and Doctor
and
Strange.
yeah.
Weirdly,
He-
uh,
yeah.
yeah. So he's gonna be now more famous after the Batman,
Mhm.
which is weird. Uh, it'd be funny he did a Hulk film, and then that will like connect every Batman composer because Danny Elfman did the Hulk. Anyway, um, but yeah, it was really great. But yeah, this film looks awesome. One of the best looking Batman films since what the Burton and Joe Schumacher films. Because the Ben Affleck and Dark Knight trilogy went more of like realistic looking cities,
Mhm.
which I didn't like. I will personally say.
Yeah, no, I liked how I, I don't know, I liked the aesthetic of Gotham in this movie. Um the like really dark but still like modern, like with all the screens in that one place that's supposed to be like analogous to Times Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
Um,
weird watching the movie, seeing things that were like almost something from New York.
New York. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, that was true. Like, oh man, like when you enter the city, like it does feel like New York.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, just like slightly off. It was
Mm,
weird. Like when
yeah.
they went to the where was the mayor's funeral? Was
Uh,
it supposed to be City Hall?
I yes, it was in
Yeah,
City Hall. I
and
remember.
then it was like that's Penn Station. But
Oh, really?
yeah, but it did, like the building itself looked so much like Penn Station.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my God, it's funny. They shot this like in Chicago and Glass, or in one of the Europe countries, Glasswood, I think it's called, or something like that. Yeah, yeah. The locations are so inspired in New York. But I also like the it feels like the Arkham games designs.
Hmm.
So which is great. But yeah, it reminds me of the Seven film with David Fincher. It
Mm.
reminded me of that, like the city's like architecture and just overall look. I feel like so. Yeah. But yeah. Overall, the production design and score and just the overall take on Gotham City and Batman, it's so spot on, which I love. So, so I'm very excited for the sequels to like improve upon those designs. But yeah, okay. What is there other characters we have to mention? Um, before we kind of discuss who's going to be the next villain. Um, because do you think the Arkham inmate that was played by one of the Eternals actors, Druk, is that the Joker? Um,
Yeah, I thought that was what they were
okay.
going for. I thought they'd confirmed that somewhere.
I mean, they've been very like I don't know, like conflicted. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last thoughts on the Batman. Like, do you want another Joker film with him? I
Yeah, I think I do.
Oh, really?
Like,
Okay.
yeah, I know it's gonna be hard because everyone's gonna be comparing it to Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least we had like the palate cleanser of like everyone can agree that Leto was bad, uh, and we can just move on from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no,
Okay.
I the Joker's just such an interesting character, like such a good villain.
Okay.
That yeah, I think they could do it, and I think they'd be able to do it really well, given how they did the Riddler in this movie.
Yeah. And another thing I like if we're gonna have yet another Joker, I did like we're gonna maybe have a team up with him and the
Yes.
Riddler.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's always fun when Batman villains team up.
yes, true. Because we still do that every movie. So except with this film. I mean, it's just one villain. But yeah,
Yeah.
because with the Riddler and Joker, like they usually don't team up. So it's kind of interesting that this film like series are gonna do that, and that's
Mhm.
like kind of cool to see. But yeah, and it's Barry Kino, right? The actor's name who's playing that like unnamed Arkham inmate that is the Joker, right? Like, is he gonna be the new Joker? Like,
I think he is. Yeah.
okay. I mean, like, I, I because like he's in the Marvel movies, and
Yeah.
but I
There's
mean,
nothing
like,
saying. I mean, so is Andy Serkis.
yeah, that's
Like,
true.
there's nothing saying that you can't be in both.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I
Jeffrey
mean,
Wright's in both.
oh yeah, he's the Watcher.
Yeah.
What if still? So, um,
Like the animosity between DC and Marvel is really just like
fun thing.
certain sections of the fan base. It's not actually there at the corporate level.
Yeah, yeah. No. I mean who is it? The actor that played Polka Dot Man in the Suicide
Oh
Squad?
yeah, David.
David, like something.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Yeah, it's a weird last name. He's in.
He's in everything.
Yeah, like he's in everything. Like so, like it's not a big deal. Like it's weird. Like speaking of him, he's in the Dark Knight, and
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you knew. Okay, because
Yeah, and he's in Suicide Squad. He's in Ant-Man. He was
before
in that. I think he played the Riddler in the Long Halloween
he
animated movie.
he was in he played the Kangaroo Man.
Oh, the Calendar Man. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in the TV show The Flash, he
Right.
played Abracadabra.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's in all of the
Stuff.
yeah, all of the multiverses.
Yes. He connects. He's connecting the multiverse. Oh boy. Yeah. So okay, because I don't know. Like sometimes you want to make a big name for the Joker, but I don't know. So
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be better if it's like a
oh
more of an
no.
up and coming actor than
Okay.
a big name.
Yeah. It's just his makeup was weird when I saw it.
Yeah, it was like you only saw it through the glass of the prison cell, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
it was kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, like everyone knows that you have to put Joker in it. So like I kind of question why we had to hide it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Like I mean, I guess if they put the green hair, then like it could easily confirm that was the Joker.
Mhm.
But anyway, I mean, it's just me. Nothing will beat Batman Begins, where you just give the Joker calling card, and that
Mhm.
was that was a great tease. So yeah, but yeah, so overall, great Batman film. Yeah, one of the
Mhm.
best.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Will, thank you for joining me today for this awesome podcasting
Yeah. Thanks for
Sunday.
having me.
Hope you feel better with your allergies.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe there's some bat medicine that can help you. Huh? Huh? Get what I did? But yeah. So just take what's the allergy pill? Septic. That's what you call it. Thank you, mom. That like take that,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah,
think you
no,
should be
I'll
good.
take something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can do something that I do, but I don't do. Uh, uh, now
Hmm.
rubbing alcohol like toward
Yeah,
for you.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Definitely do not do that.
So I just throwing out there for you, buddy. If you're
No,
that desperate to
that's
get your allergies out of
really
the way.
bad for you.
I no, I actually talked to a friend who works in the health inspection. The way we call it the health center, and he told me that rubbing alcohol can cure your allergies. He told me.
No, no,
No,
that's
oh, it's true. He told me that he experimented on someone that I cannot tell you and his name. So yeah, that's what happened. But he also told me the bat. The Little Caesar pizza. There's the bat croissant. He told me you can eat that and you can cure your allergies. Okay, all right. Anyway,
sounds very fake.
yeah. No,
Um,
I love your love pause. Anyway, I'm just now making jokes now. Okay. Any more discussion of the Batman? Will, anything else before we just go to our separate ways now? uh,
I don't know. I think I'm good. I'm
it,
excited for if and when they make sequels, and for
yes,
the Penguin spinoff.
yeah, which I'm excited for.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, so that's very good. But thank you again, Will. For coming for this
yeah. Thank you.
casual Sunday, I guess. So anyway, what do you want to do for next week for Marvel? Because we still have one more week for Moon Knight. Do you want to do another ranking for Marvel Plus, or where do you want to go next
Yeah,
week?
it's up to you.
Okay. You want to do another ranking? Um,
Sure. Yeah.
do you want to do on villains for Rose Gallery, like Spider-Man, or where you want to go?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We can do that.
Okay, Spider-Man villains, or you want to do it for film villains? Where you want to go?
Uh, let's do film villains.
Film villains. Okay, all right, we can do that. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining this podcast on the Batman. So me and will be back. We'll be back for next week for another Marvel Plus talk. Have a good weekend, you guys.